Whether it be my story or my guest stories, we all share parts of the human experience. In our own ways, we have all faced triumph and challenges, both joy and pain, both gratitude and grief. My life changed forever on October 11, 2019, the day I had a stroke. It had a ripple effect, not only for me, but also for those I cherish. Through grace, we are here today to pay it forward. It's my mission to focus on what brings us together and help people find their path through life stories. Through playing in the NFL and chasing his dreams, Mike has seen it all. Mike was drafted into the NFL in 1988 and has since moved on to the mortgage business. His desire was to help people achieve the American dream of home ownership. It's safe to say he has been successfully doing it for over 25 years now. Thank you, Mike Perez, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Okay, I want you to tell me a story. You're a Denver native?
I am.
Okay. And when did you learn that you're going to be a football star?
Well, I started playing football when I was 6.
Oh, okay.
So, and I played a lot of sports. So I played baseball, football, basketball. So whatever sport I was playing, I thought I was going to be a pro.
Like a boy, yeah.
Exactly. So it probably wasn't until maybe my 3rd or 4th year really playing football where the coach, made me play quarterback, which I didn't want to do. I like playing running back, defense, but he made me play quarterback, and he just told my mom that he's got a gift. And not sure that it was going to be, playing quarterback, being football, but had a gift to play sports. Mm-hmm. And then when I got to high school, I just, played well and wanted to go to, college. And so I did everything to prepare myself to do that. And as a kid, you always think you're going to play, professional. That's just
so why just football?
I think football picked me. I didn't really pick football. I think my body, one kind of dictated. Basketball is my favorite sport.
To this day?
To this day. and I'd rather coach basketball than coach football. Oh. And I enjoyed basketball, but it just more my body kind of dictated I was going to play football, and I could, throw the ball better than anybody. So, it just worked out and got lucky and ended up, playing professional football. Went to San Jose State and by way of junior college. So it's kind of like the sport picked me.
Okay, so who did you play for?
So I got drafted by the Giants.
Okay.
Back in 1988. So I played a couple years with the Giants. Played with a few other teams, Houston, Kansas City.
You've been around the block.
So I've been around. They like to say you had a cup of coffee at a few different places, which I did. And then I played in the World League of American Football. And that's when the NFL had a kind of like a minor league.
Oh, yeah.
And I played in Germany, in Frankfurt, Germany.
For how long?
For 2 years.
Were you married at the time?
I was not, but Don and I were dating at that time. Yeah.
Did she move there with you?
No, she did not move.
Okay, so you were told that you had a gift at a young age. Did your mother encourage it?
They never pushed anything. They just got us involved. But the person that really drove me and wanted me to succeed and do well and work hard at everything was my grandfather.
Oh, tell me.
So he was just, was from, Mexico, came from Torreon, Mexico. Never learned to read or write.
Oh, wow.
Didn't speak English, but, he worked hard, and he worked in the construction business. And, he laid, when you think of, old Stapleton, they laid the runways there. He laid 70,
wow.
Going west. So his work ethic, he just had a hard work ethic. He, retired at 70 from construction. So if you can imagine that.
No. His body hurt.
Yeah. And, but and he wanted to retire. He got sick. So he retired, but, he just had a work ethic that is second to none. And I can't even match it.
Okay, so what did he say to you? That you are, there's always one line.
He just said, work hard. And he said, work hard and treat people the way you want to be treated. Mm-hmm. And that was the one thing he always said. And he said, don't get into trouble. You see trouble, go away. So, and it's funny for him, he would say it in his broken English accent.
How do you go from being a star to not being a star?
For me, I think it was an easy transition.
Because?
Because I don't think I ever bought into being a star. I never felt myself that I was better or above anybody else. And not that, being an athlete or think that you are, but that you're put on that pedestal. Mm-hmm. And it just comes with what you do. Mm-hmm. And it's how you deal with it, I think, that helps you for the life after. And I know a lot of guys that can't adjust, don't know how to adjust.
Did that scare you as you watched them?
As I see other people that haven't been able to and still can't.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to comprehend.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a problem.
You were one of the lucky ones.
And I feel that way. And part of it is because, one, I got into a business while I was still playing. Mm. So, and I got into the mortgage business while I was still playing. So it was easy to walk away. That when I stopped playing football, I was 34.
Oh, wow.
And
how old were you when you started?
When I got drafted, I was 22, 23. But then you think I've been playing football since I was 6 years old. Mm-hmm. So I played 28 years of football. So, to all of a sudden come to a complete stop.
Yeah.
Was interesting. And the one thing which is funny, because then, when I got married, was 2 years after I stopped playing, but I told my wife, Donna, I'm like, because I was used to traveling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we got to take at least 2 or 3 trips a month, right? And we did it. It was like, because I was used to traveling and having to go somewhere.
Where did you go?
Oh, we went everywhere. Mexico, we do places in the States, abroad. So I just had to travel.
Okay, so what lessons did you learn through your career?
Well, I had my business. I started my own mortgage company. I had that for 10 years. And then when I really kind of learned, I took a job with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. And it had to be that was a little bit more corporate mm-hmm. for me. And that's what I think I learned to deal with people better, mm-hmm. How to talk to them better, and a little bit more patience. Because it was interesting. It takes a while. And then the other thing you have to do, you have to find something to fill a void.
Yeah.
So you think about your practicing every day. There's something that you've done all your life. And the other thing that I used was golf. So I got into golf.
Like every other guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like a total drug.
Really?
I would have to go to the range before work. Before I would go down to my office, I would stop at City Park or Park Hill and hit some balls, and then I would do it. It would be the last thing I would do.
Wow.
And it was like, I just got addicted. And I'm better now, but then it's like, I couldn't work unless I go and hit some balls. So, but I found something to fill that void mm-hmm. of playing football. Mm-hmm. So I played 28 years of football. So, it was fun, that we got to do something like that. Would I do it again? Probably not.
Why? Why?
Because when I look at it now, it's a violent game. It's violent.
Wow.
And I had one guy that he used to have a saying. He said, legal, and I'll do his country accent, legal violence. It's like 60 minutes of legal violence. And that's what it was. That you just could go out and do whatever you wanted to for 60 minutes.
Okay. When did you realize that?
Oh, not till I was done. Because when you're playing, you don't see it and you don't feel it. But then when I watch the game now, I'm amazed that more people don't get hurt.
Wow. has the game changed?
Well, the guys are bigger, stronger, faster, and
Why is that?
Science. They figured out how to to get stronger, how to run faster. And then the pads, I think if you look at the pads, kind of the era that I played in and they play now.
You had no pads.
No, they have no pads now.
Really?
Oh yeah, if you look at them compared to the pads the guys wore back then, they were a lot bigger. The pads are a lot smaller now.
And how do you okay, get ready?
Well, you know what? When you're conditioned for it, and you've always been conditioned for that, it doesn't bother you. Then you think about the military. So the military always wants young kids.
Yeah.
Because you can get them to do whatever, but as you get older, you're like, I don't think so. You want me to go where? So, and that's the same thing with football. It's something that you've been conditioned, and you're used to it, and you're used to the pain, and it just comes with it. And you get hurt one week, and you get ready and do it again next week, and then you do it again next week.
I suspect your grandfather is still in you, and I suspect Dr. Phyllis here that. You saw it and you emulated that in every aspect of your life.
And I would say, a work ethic. Once you establish a work ethic, and part of it is you always want to succeed at everything you do.
Have you not ever succeeded? Come on.
It's hard. I think success is different for each person.
Well said.
So if and I would say, football, I made it to the NFL, but I didn't have the career that I wanted. Obviously I wanted to play longer, but it didn't work that way in the NFL.
Okay, so was your ego hurt?
But it's hard to say because I wasn't, it wasn't that I was trying. It was more for me.
Yeah.
So when it didn't, it just, I wasn't good enough. And it is. It's like, wow, you're not as good as you think you are. But you figure out something else to do, and then I went and played in the World League, and then did well in the World League. Then I went and played in the Arena League and did well in the Arena League. So it was a way to keep going.
A win.
It's a win.
Yeah, was a win.
It's a win, and then then I got into the mortgage business, and it's like, how do I carry that, over here? Okay,
how did you carry that?
And I'd have to give credit to actually my college roommate, a guy, Kevin Clark, who actually played for the Denver Broncos. And his sister was a realtor in California. Brother-in-law was a lender. And so he started doing that when he came to Denver. And in his story, he was a scat player for the Broncos, and he ended up making the Broncos because of the year they went on strike. So he made the team. But the compensation back then was totally different than it is now. Guys had to have something else to do. So he got into the mortgage business. And he said, you should try this. My major was sociology in college. So I went to a totally different direction, but I was always good with numbers. So I tried it, I liked it, and it worked. And the thing is, I've always been a real disciplined person. Never worked out with anybody, didn't need anybody to push me. I could always, self-motivate. And so that's what kind of that business is, because it's a commission business.
Yeah.
So
how far back did you start your business while you were playing football?
So I started it in 94. I stopped playing in 99.
Wow.
So it made it easy to walk away.
So you hit up all the guys in the locker room. Hey, do you need a mortgage?
Well, yeah. At that time, I don't think they could afford mortgages. Because, I see guys like the older generation, and especially the one I see often is a guy like Haven Moses. and they had to have off-season jobs, and he started with Coors, and he got a great career working at Coors once he was done playing football.
Wow.
So now it's the compensation that they get now is totally different than it was.
Stupid money.
Oh, it's ridiculous, and good for them. You
Yeah.
know? And it should be, because you think about when you're done, if you get 5 years, get 10 years. A lot of the guys are unfortunately maybe crippled or might have mental issues, or so there's always something. But those that go on to do other things and succeed, so there's a drive, and it's funny because a lot of athletes go into real estate.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. I got a lot of guys I went to college with that are in real estate, either lending or agents.
You want to put a skirt on and work for me?
So yeah, a lot of them go into real estate.
What turns you on the most about the mortgage business?
Is the joy that I get out of that's when somebody gets a house when one they didn't expect to buy a house, but you always want to help that person get that first house. And those are my wins. And to work with them and you meet great people and the joy that they get, and they're like, when they didn't think they could get a house, and you talk them through the process, and then you go to that closing and they got those keys. That's your touchdown. Those are your wins. And that is the biggest thing. And I still remember my grandfather. One of his biggest things when he bought his first house. And it's funny, he bought it for like $6,000. But that was
back in the day.
Exactly. That was that's what everybody wants to do is have that first home, to be a homeowner.
Okay, so was he beaming with pride?
Oh, my grandfather, man, he would embarrass me. Oh, it was
Tell me.
Wherever we would go, we would be in the grocery store. And, I had some cards, football cards, and he'd pull them out, show them to the cashier. This is my my grandfather, he was the best. He was the best.
That's a sweet story.
Yeah, so he would, at any moment that he could embarrass me, he would do it. And he wouldn't, it wasn't like he was trying to embarrass me, that's just how proud he was.
Yeah. Okay, what are you most proud of?
I think the family that I come from, my heritage, being Hispanic, and even doing what I did in athletics, especially when I was coming up, they would say Hispanics or Mexicans didn't play football.
Oh, wow.
So you heard all that. It was, they said, you play soccer, baseball. So I heard all that. But
did it make an impression, like an imprint in you, in your personality, in your style?
I don't think so. I was like, if people say whatever they want, I could care less. And there's stuff that didn't bother me. I knew what I wanted to do, and because you hear everyone says that they want to see somebody, or for them to succeed, or they want to see somebody that looks like them, that does what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was coming up, there were no Hispanic quarterbacks. So it was Terry Bradshaw, but I never looked at it that way. It was just, he was a quarterback.
Yeah. That's
all I wanted to be, was a quarterback. So it was like, if I looked, for somebody that looked like me, then I wanted to play quarterback. So it was not, I wasn't going to wait. So I did something that I wanted to do. It worked out. And so, the things that I'm proud of is where I come from, the family. The one thing they say, and I just have a coach that say, the one thing you don't have a choice in is the family that you're born into. I got lucky.
That's nice. Okay. What do you want to be remembered for?
I think it's really the hard work. The hard work that, Mike's going to be reliable. He's going to work hard. And your word. Because without your word, you have nothing. So, do what you say you're going to do. And always be honest with people.
You're to be admired, honey. And I am honored that you shared.
Well, I thank you for the invite. And this was fun. And the fun thing you said that there's a moment you're gonna. I'm like, yeah, she ain't gonna get me. You got me. And that's funny. It was funny. You got me. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but thank you for sharing.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what you're doing is a good thing.
And
so,
can I see a picture of your grandpa?
I will find something for you. Yeah.
That's sweet.
So.
Thank you. Do you have a story to share? I'd love to hear from you. Please visit LoriCorken.com. There you will find more stories like the one you heard today with our series, The Power of a Voice.